In the heart of the Appalachian Mountains, nestled deep within a dense forest, lay the forgotten town of Hollowbrook. The townspeople whispered tales of a terrifying creature that had haunted their ancestors for generations, a creature known as the Hollow Hound. The legend spoke of a massive spectral hound with fur as black as midnight and eyes that glowed like blood. Red embers. It was said that the Hollow Hound had been a loyal hunting companion to a ruthless and wicked trapper who had once lived in the area. This trapper was known for his cruelty and insatiable thirst for power. One fateful night, the townspeople, fed up with his tyranny, banded together to confront the trapper. As they cornered him in the forest, he swore vengeance upon them, invoking an ancient, forbidden ritual. In a chilling chant, he called upon the forces of darkness to bind his spirit to that of his loyal hound, cursing them both for eternity. As the villagers watched in horror, the hound's body grew larger, its fur darker, and its eyes more sinister. The trapper's malevolent spirit fused with that of the hound, and the creature let out a bone-chilling howl that echoed through the mountains. Then, as suddenly as it had appeared, the Hollow Hound vanished into the shadows, leaving the trapper's wicked laugh lingering in the air. From that moment on, the town of Hollowbrook fell into a deep and eerie silence. Crops withered, animals fled, and the townspeople lived in constant fear of the Hollow Hound's return. Those who dared venture into the woods at night told tales of glowing red eyes stalking them, of phantom growls that seemed to come from nowhere, and of being chased by an unseen terror. One chilling autumn evening, a group of brave souls decided to unravel the mystery once and for all. Armed with lanterns, silver bullets, and ancient talismans, they ventured into the woods. The moon was hidden behind a thick blanket of clouds, casting an ominous gloom over the forest. As they delved deeper, the temperature dropped, and an eerie silence enveloped them. Shadows danced on the trees, and the wind seemed to carry whispers of the past. Suddenly, the group heard a low, haunting growl that sent shivers down their spines. Panic set in as glowing red eyes materialized in the darkness. The Hollow Hound emerged from the shadows, its massive form towering over them. Its fur bristled with malevolence, and its eyes locked onto each member of the group. One by one, they fired their silver bullets, but the creature seemed impervious to harm. It lunged at them with supernatural speed, its howl mixing with the terrified screams of the hunters. In the chaos that followed, the forest seemed to come alive, the very trees conspiring against the intruders. As the night wore on, the Hollow Hound picked them off, one by one, until only one remained. Cornered and desperate, the lone survivor stumbled upon an ancient tome hidden beneath a decaying tree. The book contained the trapper's incantation, the key to breaking the curse. With trembling hands, the survivor recited the incantation, his voice trembling with fear and hope. The forest shuddered, and the Hollow Hound let out a deafening, mournful howl. The curse shattered, and the hound's form flickered, gradually dissipating into the night. The survivor returned to Hollowbrook, the weight of the legend now a story of triumph rather than terror. The town gradually flourished, and the memory of the Hollow Hound began to fade. But in the darkest corners of the forest, a soft, haunting howl could sometimes be heard, a reminder that the past could never truly be forgotten. Even today, those who venture deep into the Appalachian Mountains might hear the distant echoes of that bone-chilling howl, a reminder that some legends are born from darkness and endure as a warning to all who dare to tread where they don't belong.
In the remote forests of the Pacific Northwest, a chilling legend known as the Wailing Woman of Whispering Pines has sent shivers down the spines of locals for generations. Centuries ago, a young Native American woman named E. Lowen lived peacefully within the dense woods. her tribe's traditions and connection to nature shaping her way of life. Elowen possessed an ethereal beauty and a kind heart, which caught the attention of a European settler named Samuel. Samuel's lust for power and control led him to deceive Elowen, convincing her of his love and promising to bridge the gap between their worlds. But Samuel's true intentions were malevolent. He aimed to exploit Elowen's knowledge of the land's hidden resources and sacred sites, using her as a pawn in his quest for wealth. As Elowen's people began to suffer and their sacred places desecrated, she realized the depths of Samuel's deceit. In a fit of rage and despair, Elowen confronted Samuel, her voice imbued with the anguish of her people and the spirits of the land. Her cries echoed through the forest, carrying with them a powerful curse. The ground beneath Samuel's feet cracked, and he was swallowed by the earth, never to be seen again. Elowen's pain and betrayal left an indelible mark on her spirit, trapping her between worlds. From that day forward, her wailing cries could be heard on moonlit nights when the wind whispered through the pines, carrying her mournful song to all who would listen. As generations passed, the legend of the Wailing Woman grew, evolving into a cautionary tale. The locals would gather by their firesides, sharing stories of her sorrowful wails that warned against the consequences of greed and betrayal. Some claimed to have seen her ghostly figure roaming the woods, her tearful eyes glowing in the darkness. A group of adventurous young adults, curious to unravel the truth behind the legend, ventured into the forest one moonlit night. Armed with cameras and recording equipment, they sought to capture evidence of the Wailing Woman's existence. Their laughter and skepticism soon gave way to unease as they navigated the silent woods, guided only by the glow of their flashlights. As the night deepened, a mournful wail pierced the air, freezing the group in their tracks. Their flashlights flickered, casting eerie shadows that danced among the trees. The wailing grew louder, echoing in the night, seemingly coming from all directions. Panic set in as the forest seemed to close in around them, and a chilling mist enveloped their senses. One by one, the group members vanished into the darkness, swallowed by the very woods they had sought to conquer. Their cameras and equipment were found days later, but the footage held only distorted images, haunting whispers, and glimpses of tearful eyes glowing in the shadows. Such team of the Wailing Woman of Whispering Pines lives on, a chilling reminder that the spirits of the land and the pain of betrayal can transcend time, seeking justice and retribution. The forest's mournful winds still carry her cries to those who dare to listen, a haunting echo of a tragedy that has bound her spirit to the woods for eternity.
In the heart of the Louisiana Bayou, where the Spanish moss hangs like spectral veils from twisted trees, a legend whispered through generations was etched into the very fabric of the land, the tale of the Bayou Banshee. Long ago, in a small Cajun village, lived a woman named Isabelle Dubois. She was renowned for her ethereal beauty and enchanting singing voice. A voice that could captivate even the most hardened hearts. But with her charm came a shadowy secret. Isabelle was a practitioner of dark voodoo magic, delving into the forbidden realms to gain power. As her obsession with power grew, Isabelle's heart began to blacken, and her songs took on an eerie, haunting quality that sent shivers down the villagers' spines. She would often venture deep into the bayou, seeking rare and dangerous ingredients for her spells. It wasn't long before rumors spread of her nefarious activities, and the villagers began to fear her. One moonless night, as a thunderstorm raged over the bayou, Isabelle's lust for power led her to perform a forbidden ritual. She called upon the spirits of the swamp and made a pact with a malevolent entity, binding her own soul to the murky waters and the croaking creatures that inhabited them. In exchange for her voice and beauty, she gained the ability to lure souls to their doom with her haunting songs. From that night onward, Isabel became known as the Bayou Banshee. She would emerge from the depths of the swamp, her once beautiful visage twisted and decayed, her hair a tangle of seaweed, and her eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. Her eerie melodies would drift through the night, drawing in anyone unfortunate enough to hear them. The villagers who ventured too close to the water's edge would be entranced by her song, unable to resist its pull. They would wander deeper into the marsh, their steps guided by the banshee's haunting music. And then, just as suddenly as they had disappeared, their horrified screams would pierce the air, only to be swallowed by the swamp's murky embrace. The village fell into a grip of terror as more and more villagers vanished without a trace. Fear tightened its hold, and whispers of the Bayou Banshee's curse spread far and wide. Desperation led a group of brave men to confront the sinister force, armed with iron and faith. One moonlit night, as her mournful song echoed through the mist, they approached the heart of the swamp. With a roar of defiance, they confronted the Bayou Banshee. Iron clashed with darkness as they battled, the air heavy with tension and the stench of decay. The Banshee's mournful wail grew more desperate, but the men stood firm, channeling their faith into a brilliant light that drove the entity back into the depths. As the first rays of dawn broke, the Bayou Banshee's song faded into silence, and the waters of the swamp stilled. The curse was broken, and the land began to heal. The village, forever scarred by the terror, returned to its way of life. But the legend of the Bayou Banshee remained, a chilling reminder of the darkness that could be summoned from the depths of the human heart. Even now, the echo of that mournful song can sometimes be heard on misty nights in the bayou, a haunting melody that sends a shiver down the spine of those who dare to listen.